People have theories about why I actually do this. Build a personal brand, reach, ego, legacy. Everyone's got a favorite, and most people are too polite to say it to my face. And here's the thing, 3 of those are wrong and 1 of them isn't. And the one that isn't is the one that nobody expects me to admit. So let's go through them properly, because the reason I actually do this took me a while to find. And it started with someone telling me to shut up and get on with it. So here's theory number 1, the personal brand. A guy at my level posting online must be building something. This is the easiest one to throw out because brand building has a tell. It never says anything that costs the person saying it. It optimizes for approval. It reads the room and agrees with it slightly ahead of schedule. If this were brand building, I'd have picked much easier things to say. Theory number 2, reach, the numbers. And look, I'll take reach. I'm not pretending the numbers don't register, but it isn't the reason. And there's a clean test for it. If the views went to 0 tomorrow and 1 right person still read it and went quiet for a second, I'd keep going. Reach is a byproduct I'll accept. It's not a thing I'd endure the uncomfortable post for. Theory number 3, ego. That I want to be seen as the smartest one in the room. And here I'm going to stop because this one isn't wrong. There is ego in it. Anyone who publishes their thinking in public and tells you there isn't is simply lying to you or to themselves. So yes, some of this is ego. I'm not going to perform humility about it, but here's what I've learned about ego. It's a terrible engine. It's got a very short range. It did carry me through the easy ones, the posts that flattered me, the ones that landed. It did not carry me through the morning I hit publish knowing a customer, my boss, my partner might all read the same thing before lunch. On that morning, ego was the voice telling me to not press it. So if it wasn't ego that got me past that morning, something else had to be. That's what I actually want to talk about. Theory number 4, the legacy. That I want to be remembered for something. I've saved this one for last because it's the most flattering and it sounds the most plausible. And it's still wrong for one simple reason. It's still about me. Legacy is just ego with a longer time horizon and much better PR. Nobody coming up behind me needs my monument. They need the thing I did not have. Which brings me to where this actually started. I was on a mentoring call out on a walk. I take most of my one-on-ones walking. I just concentrate better when I'm moving and do not have any screen distraction. It was the morning, and I should tell you where my head was because it did matter. My mom has just died, and I was still trying to find out what that actually meant for me. So I'm walking and I'm listening, and I'm the one who's supposed to be giving here. That's the arrangement. And at some point, I said the thing I'd been telling myself for years. Look, I'm just a guy with nothing left to prove and nothing I'd stay quiet to protect. I did say it lightly, and I didn't think it was a big statement. She did not take it that way. She said, then you should be doing something about it. Get your voice out there. And I want you to notice what just happened there, because it is the whole argument. The person I was supposed to be mentoring told me I was sitting on something. The duty I feel toward the people coming up behind me was pointed out to me by one of them. It landed, but not only because of her, it landed because of something I'd been watching for years. Here's what happens to capable people as they get senior. They get quieter, more resilient, more paused, in short, quieter. They learn that the safe answer is the obvious one, that having a position is a liability, that agreeing costs absolutely nothing and disagreeing can cost you everything. And slowly they stop having thoughts and start performing competence. Most people at my level have already made that trade. And I'll be honest with you about the self-interest in this. Part of why I'm doing this is to refuse to become exactly that person. I did not want to go quiet and watch life just go by. I still want to shape it. And that's half of it. Here's the other half, and it's less noble than it sounds. There are people 5, 10, 15 years behind me learning right now that the obvious answer is the safe one. And nobody senior is telling them otherwise, because everyone senior went already quiet. So somebody should say it out loud, and I've got less to lose than most. That's the whole duty. It isn't heroic, it's arithmetic. And I'll be clear about what I'm trying to do with it. I'm not here to make anyone feel better. I'm here to make the obvious answer feel uncomfortable. If you leave one of these slightly annoyed and still thinking about it an hour later, that's the product working. If that's the thing you want more of, subscribe. That's the deal. One uncomfortable one a week. Now stay with me, because there's a fair objection to everything I've just said. And I'd rather make it myself than let you make it in the comments. The objection is, easy for you, Carsten. You're senior, you're safe. What do you actually risk? Try this at 29 with a mortgage and a manager who doesn't like opinions. And that's a very fair hit. It genuinely is. But it's also the trap, so let me answer it properly. I didn't get here by staying quiet and then start talking once it was safe. It was the other way around. Every level I got partially because I was saying in the room what everyone else was thinking. Waiting until it is safe is exactly how the drift happens. You defer the version of yourself that says it, and you keep deferring until there's no one left to defer to. And I'm not going to claim it was always that I always say it. There are rooms where I don't, and some of that is judgment, genuinely. There's no reason to be the loudest voice in the room or the most punk. Often the smarter move is to shut up, watch, and come back later with the position once I actually have one. But I'd be lying if I told you it's always judgment. Sometimes it's just easier. I know the difference. I don't always have to act on it. One more thing, so nobody has to wonder what the catch is. There's no course at the end of it. No coaching, no newsletter, funnel, nothing to buy. I've got a job. This isn't it. So that's my why. Here's the more useful question, and then I'll leave you alone. Somewhere in your work, there's an obvious you're settling for. And there's a version of you that you had in mind when you started. If those two have drifted apart, you already know it. You knew it before I said it. I'm not going to tell you what to do about that. I'm not in a position to do that. I'm not willing to be quiet about mine anymore. That is all. And the honest question, I'd rather have 20 real answers than 1,000 views. What's the obvious you're currently settling for at work? And is it what you had in mind when you started? I'm reading every comment.